Her name was Chloe, and the first time we spoke she handed me a pen I dropped in class. Just one small moment. But sometimes that's all it takes. From that day on we were inseparable: lunch breaks, study sessions, late-night calls. She was loud, confident, full of energy. And I was the quiet one, the listener. Somehow we balanced each other. She told me everything. Her family drama, her crushes, her fears, and I told her mine. I didn't have many friends, but I didn't need many. I had her. When she called me her best friend, it felt real. It felt safe. It felt like maybe I finally belonged somewhere. What I didn't know back then was this. The same voice that once called me bestie would one day tear me apart. In a 30-second voice note. We did everything together. Shopping after class, silly TikToks in the dorm, helping each other cram for exams. People used to say, wherever Chloe is, Emma's not far behind. And I loved that. I trusted her with everything, things I hadn't even told myself properly. The nights I cried over fears I couldn't name, she listened. And she'd say things like, I'll always be here for you. You're the only real friend I have. I believed her because when Chloe smiled it felt honest. When she hugged me after class it felt like home. She wasn't just my friend. She was my person. If someone had told me back then, one day she'll laugh behind your back, I would have called them a liar. Because Chloe could do no wrong in my eyes. I'll never forget that one night. I was having a quiet breakdown, silent in bed, eyes on the ceiling, trying not to cry loud enough to wake anyone. Then my phone buzzed. A message from Chloe. Hey, I got your favorite drink. Come outside. I hadn't even told her I was upset. She just knew. I stepped out in a hoodie, eyes swollen. She stood there under the night sky holding 2 iced coffees, smiling. We sat on the bench behind the dorm. She didn't ask what was wrong. She didn't need to. She simply said, whatever it is, we'll get through it. Together. I didn't respond. Just nodded. And for the first time in a long time I felt safe. That night I decided. Chloe was the one person I could trust completely. I didn't know her voice would one day be the one I wished I'd never heard. It didn't happen all at once. It started small. The kind of changes you overlook when your heart is full of trust. She stopped waiting for me after class. Said she was just in a rush. Started hanging out with a new group of girls, loud, stylish, shiny. I didn't mind. Friends can have other friends, right? But soon I felt like an outsider. She stopped replying to my texts for hours. But I'd see her posting stories, laughing, going to the places we used to go. I asked once, hey, are we okay? She smiled. Of course. Don't be so emotional. You know I love you. And I believed her. 'Cause I wanted to. That's what you do when someone is your best friend. You hold on to the memories and hope they still mean something. Even when everything feels different. One afternoon I was studying in the library alone. 2 girls nearby were whispering. Then I heard it. My name. Yeah. Chloe was saying stuff about her the other day. My heart stopped. The words were soft but sharp. Like paper cuts you don't notice until you're bleeding. I froze, tried to breathe normally, hoping they were talking about another Emma. But the seed was planted. What if she already has? Later that evening she texted me. You okay? Haven't seen you all day. I wanted to say I heard what they said. Is it true? Did you tell them something? But I didn't. I just replied. Yeah. I'm just tired. Because that's what I always did. Protected her from my doubts, protected our friendship. Even if it meant hurting myself. The signs grew louder. Rooms would fall silent when I walked in. Someone once said, I didn't know you were like that. But like what? They never said. Their eyes did. Only Chloe knew the things they hinted at. And that's when it really hit me. We were sitting together again, pretending nothing had changed. She was laughing at a message on her phone. Then she joked about a personal story I'd once told her. One no one else knew. But her friend laughed too, like she already knew it. How do you know that? I asked. Chloe cut in. Oh, I must have mentioned it by accident. She laughed it off. But I didn't. Because now I knew. My secrets. My fears. The stories I gave her in whispers were now punchlines in someone else's group chat. And when I confronted her, she just smiled. Don't be so serious, Em. It's not a big deal. But it was everything to me. That night I lay in bed, phone on my chest, the weight of betrayal pressing down on me. I typed a long message. paragraphs. My heart poured out in every word. But I never hit send. Because what's the point of opening your heart to someone who already knows how to break it? The next morning the breaking point came. My phone buzzed. One voice note. From Chloe. No text. No explanation. Just a 30-second voice message. Played it. Her voice was louder than usual. Colder. Ugh, she's so clingy. Like I can't even breathe without her needing something. Laughter in the background. Not mine. She tells me all this deep stuff like I'm her therapist or something. It's so dramatic. I froze. It wasn't meant for me. But she sent it to me by mistake. And in those 30 seconds everything shattered. I didn't cry right away. I just sat there numb. But then it came all at once. The shaking. The chest tightness. The tears I couldn't stop. Because it wasn't just gossip. It was how she really saw me. Not as a best friend. Not even as a person. As a burden. A joke. A story to pass around. A few hours later another message from Chloe. OMG, I didn't mean to send that. It was just a joke. Please don't take it seriously. Another followed. You know I love you. We always joke like this. But I didn't reply. Not because I was angry. But because I was done explaining my pain to someone who called it entertainment. She wasn't sorry she said it. She was sorry I heard it. I opened our chat. Scrolled through the memories, the I love you texts, the inside jokes. And I hit delete. Not out of hate. Not out of rage. But because I was done holding on to something she never valued. The next morning I walked to class alone. Sat alone. And people stared. Whispered. But this time I didn't care. Because I wasn't the girl desperate to belong anymore. I was the girl who had walked through fire and was still standing. A few days later, a girl from class, Mia, sat next to me quietly. I heard what happened, she said softly. You didn't deserve that. None of it. She didn't ask for details. She didn't offer fake comfort. She just sat there present. Real. And in that moment I didn't feel entirely alone anymore. That night, I wrote in my journal again for the first time in weeks. I didn't write about Chloe. I wrote about me. About the girl who trusted too easily. Loved deeply. And survived a betrayal disguised as friendship. I wrote one line. She broke my heart but not my voice. Weeks later, our English teacher gave us an assignment. Write a personal essay. Something that changed you. I wrote mine. I didn't name Chloe. I didn't mention the voice note. But I told the truth. About betrayal that comes with laughter, not shouting. About how healing is quiet. And how silence sometimes is strength. When I turned it in, I didn't want an A. I just wanted to stop carrying it alone. A few days later, the teacher stopped me after class. Emma, your piece stayed with me. Thank you. Others began noticing. Quiet nods in the hallway. Soft smiles. A girl even whispered, I read your essay. I felt the same. I'm sorry for what happened. They didn't say Chloe's name. They didn't need to. They saw me. The real me. Later that semester I read my essay aloud in class. Your story really meant something to me. I've been through something similar. You made me feel less alone. And suddenly all the pain had a purpose. Because my voice, the one Chloe mocked, was now helping someone else feel seen. That night I looked in the mirror for the first time. And didn't look away. No makeup. No fake smile. Just me. The girl who used to shrink herself. The girl who cried alone. The girl who chose peace over revenge. The girl who finally knew her worth. If you had asked me a year ago who Chloe was, I would have said my best friend. My safe place. My sister. But sometimes the people who feel like home turn out to be storms in disguise. And sometimes the voice that breaks you is the same one that teaches you how to finally listen to your own.